Well, good evening to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley here in the News 2 studios, and we are tracking, of course, a big rain event over the next couple of days. We're going to continue to see a good amount of rain, not just tonight, also tomorrow, even into parts of early Thursday as well. And this is a cold rain, so our temperature is right around 32 degrees already, which means there is at least that chance that we could have a little bit of freezing rain mixing in, mostly for tonight and tomorrow morning. Temperature should moderate a little bit as we get into the day tomorrow. So it is a News 2 weather impact alert until tomorrow evening. Why? Well, as we told you, there is possibility anyway of a little bit of icing overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, especially as you work your way north. North meaning closer to the Virginia border for most of us, and even a little bit close to I-40 every now and again. That cold rain is going to be with us for a long while here, and we're going to see about 1 to 2 inches on top of what's already fallen across our area. Definitely would recommend you to watch things outside tonight and tomorrow morning, just in case any icy glaze is able to form. That would include the bridges and overpasses, but even still, things like we often think about or forget about, really, staircases outside, the railings, your sidewalk, all of those types of things where people tend to slip and fall more than everywhere else. Temperatures have been so chilly outside today. In fact, we've been seeing temperatures fluctuating between 32 and 38 for a long while. And at the 8 o'clock update, we did just notice PTI in Greensboro has fallen now to 32 degrees. That means that some freezing rain could already be happening in parts of the area. Hopefully we're hovering just barely above that 32 degree mark, but as we said, it's going to be a close call. Close enough that you're going to want to take things pretty cautiously as we work our way through the next 12 hours or so. Take a look at the current conditions across our Piedmont. 32 is a common number in many spots: Asheboro, Greensboro, Mount Airy, Wilkesboro as well. 33 for you in Burlington, Reedsville, Winston-Salem, and Lexington. Most of us are hovering barely above freezing, just enough to kind of limit any icing potential right now. Rain totals so far today have mostly been in the 1/3 inch range to around 1/2 inch in spots. That's going to grow because our radar has been taking a couple of breaks. Earlier today, it took forever for that rain to move in, and then once it finally did, it only lasted a couple of hours. We've had another break since dinner time or so. However, things are getting a little bit heavier now, moving into the foothills, and that should continue to work its way off to the east as we go through the rest of this evening. Remember, when you're looking at a winter radar, boy, can it be chaotic, and there's lots of colors going on. These greens, that represents rainfall. The darker the green, the heavier the rain is. The pinkish color is meant to illustrate some freezing rain falling, but it can often be pretty inaccurate here. It's just estimating based on temperatures on the ground, so we don't know that for sure. If we take a little bit closer view, it is raining right now in Winston-Salem. Still pretty dry in Greensboro, and we're seeing more of that rainfall kind of settle in to the foothill areas. Looking at the North Carolina mountains, they are below freezing right now. Freezing rain is happening. Some icing is occurring up that way. When you think about freezing rain, you should really think about like a glazed donut. That's really what's going on. You have that thin layer of ice that starts to coat everything. It can weigh down trees, weigh down power lines and the like, and make for some problems across the region. So where's this system coming from? Really, it's a big one. It stretches all the way back to Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama and Tennessee, all getting a lot of rain from this. They're going to get a lot more rain than we are, several inches, maybe over 1/2 foot of rain in those areas. For our area, it's been a lot spottier so far, but you can see in those last couple of frames, notice how this heavier rain band is pivoting to include more of us. That should really start to kind of fill in the gaps as we go into the late evening and the overnight hours, which means some pretty steady rain is likely, and for some freezing rain as well. It's a full-on winter storm in Virginia and Maryland. That little square there, that's Washington, D.C. Those blues, those darker blues really, that's heavy snow. The lighter whites are light snow, but those dark blues representing some real impressive whiteout conditions at times in the Mid-Atlantic right now, especially places like Fredericksburg, Virginia, as you go up toward Quantico and up toward places like Alexandria. Fairfax, Virginia is one of those spots as well. We've got ourselves a weather camera there that we have access to. You can see people still driving around. They've made a couple passes on the roadways, but certainly a couple of inches have fallen already. You can notice it on top of the stoplights also. Pretty nice winter temperature seen up there in Fairfax and the DC area as well. A little closer to home for us, Boone. Well, we got some snow earlier, but now it is raining, and this is freezing rain as we just showed you. You'll notice the light snowy accumulations from earlier in the day, but we can tell just from these little pixels, you see how wet the road is. That's rain right now, and likely with a temperature of right around 29 to 30 degrees, it's going to start to coat everything. And so they're going to get a little bit of an ice storm up that way and really could have some problems from that as well. Our Futurecast model shows rainfall reestablishing itself as we go through the rest of this evening. That cold air still pretty limited. It's very, very marginal. Temperature right around 32 for the next several hours. We'll see how much ice is able to kind of accumulate on the trees, mostly along the Virginia border, as we've said. Rain will continue. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we're likely to have a couple of different rounds of it. Similar to what we saw today, it was not a start to finish rainfall. Neither will tomorrow be, but we will have some rounds that are pretty heavy every now and again. That's tomorrow evening on our estimate there, and this will be the last round of it. Thursday morning, that's when we start to see the last of the rainfall. Some of that could be on the heavy side as well to start the day on Thursday. Behind it, it's a cold front and it's a windy one, so we'll start to see a change by Thursday afternoon. Once we kick that rain out of here, we'll actually look at some sunshine briefly. The first sunshine of the week. That'll be coming up on Thursday afternoon, and temperatures should warm a little bit, getting into the 50s. Let's take a closer view of our hour-by-hour forecast. This is right around 1 o'clock this morning. Notice how close that temperature is, right around 33 to 34. But we already looked at our current conditions. Remember, we're already around 32 degrees. I think our model might be overdoing these temperatures by just a little bit, which would mean that freezing rain line is probably a little farther south than the Virginia border. This is around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Rain continuing, probably a bit of a gap after that as we go toward lunchtime, and then it kind of reloads and moves back in for tomorrow night. There's no threat of icing once we get into the daytime tomorrow, by the way. Any freezing rain concern, that's between now and tomorrow morning. Once we get into the daytime, we are home free from any sort of winter effect. Now, toward tomorrow night, the rain just continues, and the heaviest rain of the whole event should be tomorrow night into Thursday morning. That's the last batch of it, and once we get past that, you'll really notice that we clear out pretty well, and temperatures pop up to right around 60 for Thursday afternoon. That'll be worth its weight in gold once we get to that point. Cold rain does continue for now, though. Freezing rain possible north of I-40 in spots. Can't rule out those slick spots here or there, so take it slow, take it easy. Check before you step, of course, and then we'll continue to watch that cold rain. Just to kind of illustrate who I think has the best chance to get maybe a little bit of that glazing on all of the surfaces, that would be Wilkes County, Surrey County, Stokes, Rockingham, right along the Virginia border. A chance of a little freezing rain glaze, that would be across the Triad north of I-40, but again, only a chance here. It's not a guarantee there'll be any ice whatsoever. And if you want, just kind of hold off the first couple of hours tomorrow morning. You should be okay. For this evening, cold rain continues on and off. Haven't heard of any problems yet, and I don't think they'll develop all that quickly. So you should be good to go about the area this evening. Overnight tonight, be cautious, especially in the northern counties, and then tomorrow morning, the first couple of hours of the day. Once you get past 9 a.m., everything should be fine, but it's going to keep raining. That cold rain just does not quit. We're going to see it going and going through Thursday morning. In fact, once we get to the weekend, there's even more rain on the way. Saturday afternoon and evening, it'll be raining again, kind of cloudy and chilly out there to start your weekend. And then we have a round of heavy rain, possibly thunderstorms for Sunday morning. We'll dry out for Sunday afternoon. North Carolina mountains get a little bit of snowfall on Sunday afternoon as well. Next week starts out dry, but there is some intrigue once we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Both computer models that we look at for the long-range forecasting are excited about the potential of maybe another winter weather event. We don't know yet. It's too far away, and I can tell you, being 8 to 9 days away is never a good place to try and make definitive statements for winter weather. We'll watch it. If it keeps trending that way, we'll start to forecast it, but right now, I wouldn't get all that excited. This next 7 days is going to be a wet one for us, though. 2 to 4 inches of rain across our part of the world, and that will continue to help our drought. It's easy to forget we have been in a drought for a little while, and yes, it is probably going to take a decent chunk out of it this week with all the rain that we've been seeing. Looking ahead at the 7-day forecast, noticing tomorrow we're still stuck in the 30s as we have been. There'll be a high of about 36 degrees after a morning low of 32. Watching for ice that morning. That'll be the threat that goes away as the rain continues. Temperatures will warm a little bit, getting into the 40s by Thursday morning, and then 60s for Thursday afternoon with some sunshine. Friday's looking good with lots of sun around the area, just chilly. It'll be in the 40s. And for the weekend, a little gloomy and damp for Saturday. Sunday morning could start off with a bang with some thunderstorms possible.